if I do it. And there we are. Hello, hello, everybody. Pop Culture Curator here. Welcome to my channel for our review of Star Trek The Animated Series, Episode 3, One of Our Planets is Missing. And first thing and foremost, I want to say hello to the chat, everybody here that's joining us, and most important to the panel. Thank you, Antiderivative Jill, for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, Pop Culture Curator. I'm excited to be here to talk about the animated series.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be exciting. It was I'm of course partial, but I think it was a fascinating episode. I think we'll have a lot to talk about today. How you doing, Gorilla? Gorilla's Random Thoughts. You doing good there?
Yeah, I'm doing.
Have you had a chance to watch this episode lately?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent, excellent. And here we also have Scotty R37. How you doing, Scotty?
I'm doing well.
All right. Well, welcome to the panel, you guys. I appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, my pleasure. I actually just finished up watching the episode. And again, this is so fun just because it is one of the absences in my Star Trek knowledge. So these are all new stories to me, too.
Right, and it's still fresh in your mind if you just saw it, too. So that's excellent. Okay. But this is fascinating. So I'll be hearing it from somebody who just watched it for the first time. Is that right?
That's right.
Two people.
Two people. Oh, great. That's excellent. What's interesting is the last time I saw this episode had to be at least 10 years ago. And now I have a completely different outlook on it. That's what's interesting about these shows. They're so well written. That's like, but do any of you have any questions? Before we get started, I know some people that are maybe in the chat or just coming in, they may not be able to stay through the whole stream. The stream may take run a little long for some people if it does. Jill, would you like to mention your channel real quick before we get started?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I have a channel, and I like to talk about Star Trek on it. Also, other science fiction like UFO and the Orville. I have a complete review of all of the Orville seasons 1 through 3.
That's fascinating. Jill and Jill also your TOS reviews.
Yeah, my TOS reviews. I have them every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. And tomorrow we'll be reviewing Corbomite Maneuver.
Absolutely. That's going to be a blast as well. We're reviewing them in the order they were created, not in the broadcast order.
Yes, so production order.
Production order, yes. So I think that's going to be fascinating. Gorilla, what do you about your channel? Anything you want to say about yours?
Well, on Wednesday we were watching Beyond Belief there for watch party. Were episodes. Thank you. So yeah, Wednesday we do Beyond Belief there, where we try to guess which episodes are true and which ones are bullshit. Last week I had an excellent week. I went 8 for 10 of the stories. Just had to
nice. Very cool.
Usually I go for 4 for 10.
All right, very cool. How about you, Scotty? Anything about your channel you'd like to share?
There's one more.
Gorilla, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. On Thursday, I will be defending Man Trap from TNG there, and there will be no Babylon 5 or Cinema Sunday there because I'm thinking of going on a road trip.
Oh, nice. Where are you headed?
The cities, or at least if I can if I can find enough gas.
Oh yeah, I know how bad it is these days. Especially I'm out here in California. It's crazy. I think the last I paid, the cheapest I was able to find was $4.79 a gallon.
Here, I'll send you a link for something here if you have a smartphone.
I believe I do. Hopefully it's smart.
Huh?
Yes,
Gorilla,
Jill.
Gorilla, you said you were reviewing Man Trap. Do you mean from TOS, or are you
No.
talking about a different
Yeah, I
TNG
was wondering that
episode?
too. Did they have an episode called that?
Here, I've written it down because I'm planning 3 weeks ahead here because I had 3 people in the chat. Now, where did I write it down at?
Also, hello in the chat to Son of a Red Shirt.
Hello, Son of a Red Shirt.
Oh,
Welcome, welcome. Glad you could join us. I hope you were doing
yeah.
well.
Yep.
Me too.
Jill, there's the Man Trap in TNG there for with Loxana and Troy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and she was being extra horny that episode.
That
And what's the name of it?
The Man Trap.
The Man Trap.
Oh, okay.
It's
Gotcha.
that one. It's that one with those weird looking gray aliens that were wrapped in tinfoil that were apparently asleep the whole trip. They're going to a conference, and they're going
Yeah.
to blow up the conference. That
what
ring
a
a bell,
handsome
Joe?
race.
Scotty knows which one.
Oh,
I'm talking
it's
about.
called Manhunt.
Manhunt. Right.
Oh, the Manhunt. Okay, I wrote it down wrong.
I was
wrote down
wondering
which
about
one.
that. That's okay. It's a good thing she told you now before you made the video, right?
There you
I
go.
will have figured it. I will have figured it out.
Yeah, you would have. But
Yes.
for the moment, I was confused.
And you, Scotty, is there anything you'd like to share about your channel?
Over at the Phantasmagorium show, every Wednesday we're doing Quentin Tarantino retrospective, and this Wednesday we're watching, not directed or written by, but just starring Quentin Tarantino, the movie Destiny Turns on the Radio. It doesn't look good, folks. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, but sometimes a review of a bad movie can be super fun. So
That's what I'm
I can't-
Oh,
hoping
yeah,
for.
that's true.
That's what I'm hoping for. But
It
I'm
sounds
looking
interesting.
forward to seeing because I've never seen it before. So I might actually like it. I might buck against the system.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come
Never
on,
know.
Scotty. I defend bad episodes of bad movies every Thursday. It's not that bad. It gets really fun.
Well, and
Trying to
speaking
find
of
the
which,
stuff you like.
well, yeah, and speaking of which, we've Steve and I on Thursday nights have been discussing each release of She-Hulk, and I don't know if you've heard about it. Nobody on the internet is talking about it, but it seems like Steve and I are the only ones who like it. So
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Like I've seen like 15 different reviews of it that were just sitting there bashing it, and every single one they'll play 15 seconds of the exact same clip. It's like nobody had a different thought about it at all.
yeah,
Maybe
everybody
they're
got the
playing the
same
clips.
memo.
Maybe they're playing the clips from the trailers. I don't know. I was
No,
wondering about
no.
that. Maybe it's legal issues. I don't know.
No, everybody's bitching about the exact same part, and they're sharing the exact same clip.
So you think they're all sharing the part where they get triggered?
Yeah.
What else is new, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
it's just that little speech that the lady who plays She-Hulk went on about how she being a woman, she has to be scared and fearing for her life every single day, and that's how she controls her anger.
Well,
Oh,
and
that's
if it is interesting for you, again on Thursdays over at the Phantasmagorium, we're having a conversation about it, and we're not just talking about it so that we can tear it apart. We're actually, I love the character, so it's fun. If you
Yeah.
want to swing by, that'd be great.
Okay. Yeah, I'll swing by if I'm not streaming at the same time.
Cool.
Fantastic.
And if not, you can always listen to the replay.
This is true.
And today we're reviewing episode 3 of season 1 called One of Our Planets is Missing, written by Mark Daniels and directed by Hal Sutherland. And
It's so
Oh, yeah.
interesting to see Mark Daniels on the title card, just because I was like, Mark Daniels, why do I know that name? Directed
you do.
15 episodes of the original series.
yeah, including Mirror Mirror. So
Yeah.
it was cool that he wanted to write an episode.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fantastic, and it really shows too. I mean, when you watch this, it's like, wow, they really think this through. It's not something they just slap together.
Mhm. Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Daniels wanted to write one that he knew that Gene had always wanted to do, which was have an intelligent planet-eating being.
Yeah.
I guess one that's
It's-
smarter than the Doomsday Machine, huh?
Yeah, of course. Of course you can't watch this episode without thinking of the Doomsday Machine, but at least yeah, definitely much smarter than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it
Yeah.
was kind of like a mixture of Doomsday Machine and the motion picture. But
Yeah. Oh, Scotty, I just typed your name into Google or into YouTube there, sub to your
Y-
channel there.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
the first video that popped up was John Oliver, if that makes you feel any better.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so apparently if I type in Scotty R37, so you get John Oliver.
All right. I'll take it.
I wouldn't. I'd be insulted.
I liked him on the Daily Show. And
Hello. Oh yeah.
hungry, hungry,
Yeah, that's what I was
hungry.
going to say. Hello in the chat to Hungry
hello,
Boy.
Hungry. Yes,
Today,
thank you for joining us, Hungry. All
today
right,
he
go
is
ahead.
hungry for easier days and more sleep.
Oh, always right.
Well,
I hear you. I understand. And Stream Element Spot is asleep.
It claims to
So
be running. Yeah, no,
yeah, somewhere lurking.
no. We'll switch to Streamlabs soon. I just haven't had time to make the switch. It's not really
I well,
hard.
I need to learn it as well. I need to
I
download it and
just
check it out.
well, I didn't. You don't have to download it. You just have to sign in. It's exactly the same as. I already made it a mod. I just have to add the commands. It's
Do
the
you
same steps. It's the same exact steps as Stream Elements.
do you use that and StreamYard or that instead of?
Uh, in collaboration with StreamYard. They're
Okay,
completely separate things. Stream Elements and Streamlabs are completely different. They're little.
okay,
For me, they're just little bots you can add in, and you can also use it to like make overlays and stuff that I haven't done.
gotcha. All right, cool. Thank you.
hmm And yeah. So the writing on this episode was a collaboration between Daniels Roddenberry and DC Fontana, who provided the final polish to the story, as she usually does for the series.
She is sorely missed now these days.
hmm And so they're in the Palace 14 system, hanging around with the latest Federation colony, Mantillas.
Mantilles.
Mantilles. Thank you. Gosh, I just
Yeah.
watched it too.
Okay, I got a
Take,
question.
take, yes. Well, hold on just a second. Take care, Hungry. Have a great night. He says he's getting ready to crash. Go ahead, Gorilla.
You have a good night, Hungry.
Good night,
Why is
Hungry.
it always the Enterprise? It's the only starship in the area. It's always this. Like, there's never another starship nearby.
Yes, that's right. Once again, the Enterprise is the only vessel around to investigate this mystery, this mysterious cloud object that no
Okay,
one's ever seen
right. Well, I
anything
agree.
like
So
before.
you think there should be another ship that could join them, or another ship instead of them?
Well, it's always like it seems like every episode of the TOS, they're like it starts out. Well, this is happening, and Enterprise is the only ship in the area, so we have to go investigate. It's like
Isn't
always
TNG similar to that?
yes
No.
and no.
Not exactly. Well, TOS was more of the frontier in space, where
Right.
the Enterprise was out
Yeah.
out of
Well,
out of bounds of because it
no,
was exploring. It was the wagon train to the
right now,
sun.
if I remember correctly, at the time, according to canon, they only had 12 ships, right?
Really?
Yeah.
12 Constitution classes, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 12 constitutions, but that doesn't mean they didn't have other ships. They
Well,
could
I,
have been
well, I,
running on NXOs or
well,
Freedom classes.
well, but I'm saying, like, let's say if there were freighter classes and science vessels, what good would they do? What help would they be? So maybe
That's
they
true.
mean another
Evacuation.
another exploration vehicle or spaceship that has weapons that is designed to go to battle.
Well, a
Is that
freighter can help with evacuations and stuff.
they wouldn't move very fast, but you're risking the. I don't know. They could
Well, and
possibly, if you can get one there fast enough, but freighters aren't very fast usually. Go ahead,
it
Scotty.
is usually the way. Like, I find it sort of laughable when, in Star Trek 5, Star Trek motion picture, when it's like you're the only ship in the area or the only one with an experienced commander. This one, they just seem to be investigating the cloud, and as we'll discover, it is the appearance of intelligence when it changes course that makes it so that it's of any interest whatsoever. Before that, it's just another cloud.
Well, I thought the reason they went to go investigate because they changed course to an inhabited planet that
Yeah.
has 82 million people.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's right. Spock relays that the cloud is 800,000 kilometers across with the depth of 400,000 kilometers squared, more or less. And Eric says that that is, well, I mean, I say squared because it's not exactly a rectangular prism or anything, but it's just approximation. And Eric says that it is twice as large as the diameters of Saturn, Jupiter, and Neptune put together. And
Oh.
so, uh,
So it's another figure.
That's what made me think of Beeger, because isn't Beeger over 2 AUs in diameter, right? Again,
Mm-hmm.
which is the
Yeah.
distance between the Earth and the Sun.
yeah, so if I add those diameters together, I get about 600,000 kilometers. So it's not quite 800,000 kilometers, but
Yeah.
Wait,
it's pretty close enough.
wait. The 1 AU is approximately 93 million miles. So 2 AUs would be 183 million miles. I don't know what that'd be kilometers.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah.
little over my head by that point without a calculator.
I am on it.
English was my forte.
Yeah, that'd be 186 million miles.
Um, I can't. There's no commas on this. This is 1 AU is 149,597. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Okay, so 149,597. No, 149,597. 1,870.7 kilometers. So V'ger was much larger,
Much,
and
much larger. Yes.
that's only 1 AU.
Right, right.
I'm not.
If we needed AUs, you can be sure that Star Trek would have been calculating in those already.
Yeah, I'll do
Agreed.
this a lot easier.
And that was the size of Beeger in the cloud. The cloud dispersed at the end of the movie and exposed the actual vehicle inside. I don't know if we ever got a size for that, did we?
No, but you do get to see the Enterprise sort of like fly by it, and the Enterprise is but a speck.
Oh, it is. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And if you see any of you have seen the new director's 4K cut, you can see Beeger clear even better now at the end than ever
That's what I heard.
before.
I
Yeah,
haven't
it's,
seen it yet. I'm looking forward to it a lot.
it's
I heard,
astounding. Jill, did you ever get a chance to see it?
Yeah, I went out to the theater to see it, and it's
Oh,
great.
nice.
yeah,
Did you like
It
it?
should
Nice.
be. I loved it, and I think in September it should be releasing on 4K.
yeah. Do you
I
guys
think that
want?
I think that was, in my opinion, Jill. I think that was the scene where Leonard
Yeah,
Nimoy actually really bonded with the Spock character, and Spock and actually he had accepted his human side finally after all that
yeah,
time. But
yeah.
that's my opinion.
Only
Yeah.
after almost completely rejecting it, and yeah, his interaction with it, Beeger showed him why he needed more than logic in his life.
Yeah,
When he held Kirk's hand, it's like that's something that Spock never would have done in the series. It's
yeah,
I think it was his human and Vulcan coming to a balance, and he's starting to realize he can live with
yeah,
himself, and that's why he turned down the Kolinar.
Yeah,
yeah,
that it's this feeling.
Right? I think he realizes he needs his human side just as much as he needs his Vulcan side.
yeah. Do you guys want the conversion?
If you
Yes.
want.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's 299,337,984 kilometers. That's how uh, V'ger was there. Then for this one here, it's 800,000 kilometers.
Hmm.
So that would be 497,096 and some change miles. I did the easy way there, Scotty. I just put a converter into Google.
Yeah, so that's why it makes sense that they still use kilometers for this object because it's not quite big enough to warrant using the A's.
Agreed.
Yeah, that
And
makes sense.
Hey, they should be using freedom units.
and hello in the hello in the chat to Bird of Prey 5 and Deej Odyssey. Awesome to
Yeah.
see you guys.
Hello, Bird Kapla.
Yeah.
Hello, DJ.
Kapla bird. And hey there.
Kapla
Deej.
bird, ahoy deej.
Welcome. You just got here just in time. We've just started a couple minutes ago our review of the Star Trek the Animated Series episode. Sit down, enjoy, and if you have any input or questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the chat. You're very welcome to be here.
Jedi Bill is in the chat. Ahoy.
I love it how we can have these intelligent conversations.
Yeah.
Notice how we're not watching Hong Kong Fooey. We wouldn't be
Yeah.
discussing kilometers, would we?
Yeah.
With
No.
Fat
Hey,
Albert.
hey there, Jedi Bill.
I've,
I don't know if I'm very intelligent there. I swear since I joined Twitter, my IQ has dropped 30 points.
It's very damaging. It is. It's very damaging. You have to step away sometimes and give your brain a chance to kind of re-energize.
yeah, and that's true. It's definitely Star Trek when I look away from the review to look at the diameters of planets.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Welcome, Jedi Bill. Good to see you, sir.
So, further study from Spock reveals that the cloud is made of matter and energy, which of course we know are two sides of the same coin. And this cloud was hanging around the outermost planet of the Pallas 14 system, which was Alondra, but now Alondra is shrinking in mass, causing Kirk to consider that the cloud may be eating it. And now that, after it's done that, it's moving on to the Federation colony planet, Mantilus. I'm never going to say this right. Say it again, Scotty.
Mantilles.
Mantilles.
Mantilles. Okay, eventually by the end of this review, I'll say it correctly.
Yeah.
Mantilles.
Here, I got a
just
question. Oh,
Sure.
Go ahead, Scotty.
No. I was just gonna make fun of it because I was
I-
joking every time it was like Mantilles. It's like it's the man planet.
Man titties. Just think of
There you
man
go.
titties. Oh, I got to take a shot there because that's a drinking game on my channel.
Oh.
There. Every time I mention titties, I'm supposed to take a drink.
You must be blasted all the time then. No, just kidding.
No, but what I was gonna say is after what happened to the Intrepid, I'm pretty sure there's a couple other episodes of the original series. What the have they learned not to go stick their starship in weird things?
Exactly. And Deej, I'm a fan of Hong Kong Fooey, actually. I did enjoy it, so I wasn't knocking, and I apologize for that.
I still haven't seen it, but that will be no
Yeah.
surprise. People who know me.
Yeah.
Hey, Jedi Bill.
Hey,
And we have people saying hello to each other in the chat.
And there we go. Deej got it. Mantilles, not man titties.
So Captain Kirk. Anyway,
You're gonna think about that the rest of the night, Jill.
yeah, Captain Kirk orders Sulu to intercept warp 8 to intercept the cloud. So that's why they go up to the cloud. It's not because they don't know, not to interfere with these kind of things. They kind of have to. They make it before the cloud gets to the planet, which it's going to make it to the planet in about 4 hours. And meanwhile, Spock is already considering that this thing is like an organism, seeking out planets for food, like an amoeba. I also love how they consider that telling the planet, the Mantilles planet,
There you go.
could cause a panic. But they can trust the former Starfleet officer, Bob Wesley, with the information because he would not panic as a former Starfleet officer.
Do you know which episode he's from?
He was a Commodore in the Ultimate Computer.
Bingo.
Nice.
But he's played by James Doohan this time, except instead of the original actor.
Yes.
Naturally.
And that is a really nice touch to keep us in the Star Trek universe, those kind of references.
Yeah, I love the
Mhm.
continuity. It's great.
And Spock continues his extensive study on the cloud, determining that it's full of elements not known on the periodic tables, leading him to believe this thing isn't from our galaxy. And that's when the thing grabs and swallows up the Enterprise. Spock further explains that it uses colonial energy, and that prefix means common, so some kind of common energy. And I couldn't find that correlates to anything real, but it doesn't really matter because he describes it as an unusually attractive force. So at least we know what it's doing. Then Spock says that it's ambiplasma, which is a hypothetical kind of plasma that has both matter and antimatter. And so that's still the cloud just swallowing up the Enterprise. And Kirk has has fires an antimatter. Oh wait, no,
No, this is
no.
when they
This
first
this is
just try the phasers, and I'm thinking, well,
yes,
didn't they realize from obsession that won't work? But hey, it's a different cloud, right?
yes, that's right. They're just trying to hit it with the phaser, but it does nothing but absorb energy. Right, and so they're knocked around a bit.
That I noticed this just with the animation. What is going on with the perspective on Uhura?
I don't know.
Her knees are on the console?
Yeah, that does look really off, doesn't it?
I
The
don't.
console should be higher up, shouldn't it?
The
Well, I
perspective.
would. Yeah, and so there are certain things that I forgive, but when I do
Hmm.
notice these things, it's just sort of like, oh, this is why people think it looks a bit cheap.
Well, um, D. Odyssey says, "Well, at least the cloud swallowed and didn't spit." Why did I read that?
I don't know.
Hey, Jill, if you
Yeah,
didn't
I
read
didn't
it,
even
I
say
would have
that.
read it. If you didn't read it, I would have.
Hungry Boy says all the cloud explanation stuff was very enriching to young sci-fi fan brains. I agree.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely,
absolutely.
yeah.
Oh, it's so great they're not talking down to the kids like they're dumb. This is written for everybody, which is fantastic. I miss those days.
Mm-hmm.
And some objects are approaching the ship, and they're made of highly charged gaseous antimatter, which directly relates to how Spock describes the clouds as both matter and antimatter. So Scotty's worried that the shields won't hold for too long. And Kirk fires an antimatter charge at these objects, which is finally the first thing that goes right because that makes them disappear. And this is when Spock knows for sure that this thing is alive.
Hey,
McCoy
wait a
weighs
minute.
it. Oh, go ahead.
I got a question here.
Sure.
So they sent out an antimatter burst, right?
Yes.
How can those things live in the cloud there, being matter, but that cloud supposedly supposed to be an antimatter cloud?
Yeah, that's a good question. This is some type of amalgamation between matter and antimatter that are somehow able to work in concert together without touching each other, but still working together somehow. It's hypothetical. I
Well
have no
done,
idea.
Jill. No, that's much
Mm-hmm.
better than I could have said. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, but all it needs is one little bump, and all of a sudden, boom.
you're right.
Maybe that's why those little things explode. Maybe that has
Wait, and how
something to
did
do
the
with it.
starship be able to get wrapped around and sucked into the thing without anything exploding? It makes
Well,
no.
well,
They have
part of it.
shields up.
Well,
They
that
have the
part is.
shields up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have shields, and also part of the thing is also actual matter. So we don't know
Yeah,
exactly which parts of this thing is matter or which parts of it is antimatter.
yeah. Well, even with the shields, could the shields be considered some form of matter, since it's blocking whatever it is? It blocks stuff.
Hmm.
Oh, it's an energy field. I don't know.
Yeah, we need to scour our books and try to find it, right? I'm sure there's a Trekkie sitting somewhere in a basement who knows the answer.
Screaming at their computer, being like, "Don't you know how
Yeah, don't
shields
you know?
work?"
Yeah, exactly. How can you
Hmm.
not know?
Well, they do have their deflectors on this entire episode, uh,
Of course.
and so that's why the energy is draining pretty quick from the ship because it's being constantly used to keep the Enterprise from being destroyed. So there's that. Um, so that's the most explanation we get for that because we only have 20-minute episode here.
Yeah.
Daniels actually wrote an entire hour's worth of script for this, so it would have been really neat to see the whole thing.
Oh wow.
Oh, the shame. Too bad it wasn't 60
Mhm.
minutes.
Right. And McCoy does weigh in with his knowledge on biology, saying that those white objects behave like a macromorphase enzyme. And in real biology, a macrophage is a large white blood cell, which means big eater. So maybe the writer meant phage instead of phase because it's also described as an amoeba-like organism, which was
That's
an
true.
analogy. that
Yeah,
Spock used.
yeah. I was thinking maybe that there was in a way they were trying to digest the ship. Maybe.
Yes, that's the alternative of what I was thinking is that these objects could be like enzymes in our stomach which digest food based on how the episode keeps using words like eating the planet or the ship.
An entrance and an exit.
Hmm. And actually, it's going to turn out that McCoy's going to eventually just call these as being like teeth. But I love that this episode made me think of all of those things.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Macromorphage. Oh, there we go. Antibodies. What is it? The immunity syndrome when Shatner does some real Shatner stuff.
Yes, and Hungry Boy
Well, I
says
gotta
white
be
blood
more
cells.
specific than that. With Shatner doing Shatner stuff, you gotta be more specific than
Yeah, I
that.
was thinking of Fantastic Voyage as well. They were supposed to be remaking that recently, but I haven't heard what happened to that.
Fantastic Voyager, if you're a 90s kid like me, the Magic School Bus.
Wait, Jill, you're 90s? I, was,
Yeah.
I had a feeling you're a little bit older than I was.
Uh,
Because
That's
I'm
that's
I'm
that's
I
nice
like.
when you
91.
say.
I do like Donald Pleasance.
Huh. And here I thought I was the young one out of the whole group there. You just seem like you're a lot like you're older than I am. You see more of this stuff.
my soul is older.
Wise
So
beyond her years is what. Yes.
She definitely has good taste, better than most people her age.
yeah.
Whatever her age is, she's especially her. I appreciate your taste in sci-fi, Jill.
Thanks.
So it's great to have you here. It's great to have your knowledge.
Yeah, and same here. I appreciate everybody's knowledge.
Uh,
And Uhura gets a call from Governor Bob Wesley of Mantilles, which is a Federation colony. Which is the Federation colony that's in danger from this cloud. And Sulu
So
is charged with using scans of the cloud to create a diagram in the library computer.
And
yeah, no offense, Deej. I'm old too, so no offense to you.
And the Kirk is right about Bob Wesley and says he wouldn't react with panic, and he comes up. He says that they're just going to they're saving the children.
They're
They will
saving
be
the
off
children.
planet.
Hmm. Yeah, they can't save all 82 million, but they'll save as many kids as they can.
I imagine the kids, a few guardians and teachers. You're gonna have a few adults that are gonna be fighting over those positions.
Hmm.
I like that analogy that Spock gives about the cloud being like a buffalo grazing on the plains of the universe. I
Yeah,
thought it was
I,
oddly poetic.
I liked it too. The animated series, the official guide says, if only cows could talk. Oh. They confirm everything they've learned so far to decide that the cloud is eating matter for energy. And this is the point where McCoy says that the first objects they saw were like teeth, the antimatter objects. And now we see a diagram that Sulu came up with from the scanners. The whole
Yeah,
thing
it
looks
looks like
very
my
familiar.
kids. What's that little thing with the knobs there with the sand and you shake it? But it looks like my kid's etch and sketch drawing.
I always think
Oh
it looked
yeah.
like lungs. Hmm.
And I kind of thought it looked a bit like a brain.
I thought it looked like a brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
brain
thought it
too.
looked like
Yeah,
an etch. I thought it
yeah.
looks like my kid's etch and sketch drawing.
Yeah, looks like a brain with the left and right hemisphere.
Yeah. And Deej agrees it looks like a brain. They know that they know the way that they came in has been blocked. So they have to continue through the cloud, through its digestive system.
I'm biting my tongue right now.
Well, you've already hinted at it. It has an entrance and it's got an exit. It's got a mouth and it's got a poop chute.
So in other words, they got to shit it out.
There you go.
I guess
Yeah,
it's
yeah, but they want to go out at warp speed, so they're trying to get to the other end as quick as they can.
Oh, I was just about to make a comment there, but I'm censoring myself because this is YouTube.
But then only you know why you're laughing.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, for the prize.
But yeah, and then doesn't Scotty mention something about it being very, very taxing on the shields and it's draining the engines and everything? Oh my god.
Yeah, yes, absolutely he does. So yeah, they begin through the small intestine, which is apparently a very explosive place.
Uh,
There you go, Jill. That's what I was holding back.
Oh,
I bit my tongue.
that's not that bad.
Oh, we're sorry to hear that.
come on, explosive colon. Come on.
Oh,
That's funny.
oh, okay, if it's not that bad in pop culture, let's me say it.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
Go
pop
for it.
culture. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
not bad at all.
What I was gonna say was at least it's going out the exit instead of in.
Oh
Mhm.
Nope.
yeah, that's yeah.
So
Maybe they
this
should
is
have flew around to the other side.
Mhm. I know, right?
Sorry.
This is- well, okay, so these explosions are happening because these what McCoy calls villi are also made of antimatter. And speaking of antimatter, okay, so that was a pretty good shot there. I like this.
That's a really good shot.
It
It
was
is,
really
yeah,
great.
really good.
I would love like a picture of this, like
Well,
in
once
my
you
house.
can, hey, you can actually print that out and take it to a print shop, and they can blow it up into a picture for you.
Yeah. Thanks for the idea.
Well,
And tell me
actually,
to pull it cash, so there's no record of it.
well, some graphic shops I've learned if you go and try to put something like this, and if you want to reproduce it, they usually ask if they're usually concerned about copyrights. They'll ask if
Mhm.
you own it.
But
I
it's
think
that's
it
for
why.
was.
personal. It's for personal
Yeah.
use. And you
Yeah,
can.
That's why you
right.
just got to pick the right print shop, like a small mom and pop. Then that just tell them they'll keep a record of it.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You go to the one of the big box store ones, they'll be worried about copyright, but mom and pop, they won't care.
Well, most of them probably wouldn't even recognize what it is. Just say it's something my kid drew at home.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Hungry Boy says the background painters must have had so much fun painting the cosmic colon there. I wish that there was more information in the book about all of the artists who worked on this book. I need to see if there's some info there next time for Hungry Boy because I remembered he wanted to learn more about that, and I guess there's not as much info on the actual artwork. That shot, he says that shot was hard, using white paint on acetate.
You see, that's Bird's opinion of what the I'm guessing what the cloud looks like. A piece of broccoli from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Bird, I didn't see that.
What happened?
Don't worry, the Enterprise got away from this area
This
before
is not the episode I saw. And that was the end of Star Trek.
And roll credits, right?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay, so then of course, speaking of antimatter, Scotty is warning their stores of energy are depleting and will be gone in about 20 minutes. And there's one of the next major conflicts. And Scotty says if they don't stop, the ship will be drained. But Kirk says if they do stop, they'll fall with the villi and the ship will explode. Like, it almost looked like it did in the previous scene there.
Yeah.
So then, of course, Scotty comes up with the miracle. Let's see, Scotty. He wants to use the antimatter from the villi to power the ship, and uses pieces of the planet as the matter that he requires. In order to be sure the antimatter from the villi doesn't destroy the ship, Scotty will make a force field box for it and then release it by remote control once it's in the antimatter nacelles. So they do that. It cut a
Well,
bit of the belly.
yeah, and it's something that is sort of, if you compare it to other modern, more recent Star Treks, like this one's really good at the problem solving aspect of it. Like the middle act of it, the second act of it is all just okay. How are we going to be able to get through? And I like the problem solving as opposed to okay, we have to go here and cry, talk
Yeah,
somewhere,
no
have a
crying here.
tantrum. There's no
Exa-
crying, and yeah. So anyway, and we'll get to it when we get to it. But it's like yeah, they hack off the antimatter, put it in the box, and then all right, let's go. And up until this point, I was thinking this is almost like an animated bottle show. Like they never leave the bridge.
You're
And
right.
then when you get to engineering here, and it's just like that is a really cool shot of the like what would be the original series sort of warp core and the pylons that shoot out to the nacelles.
And the
All
box
right.
looks like it's made out of like glass. You can see it's a transparent material.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah. I got so many questions
Transparent
with this.
aluminum, maybe.
I got so many questions with this.
And
First of all,
apparently, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
they fired phasers at it. It did absolutely nothing, right? So how the hell were they able to cut a piece out with a tractor beam, even though that's not a cutting beam?
No, they fired the phasers at the cloud itself, but when they were shooting off pieces inside the body, solid objects. That's how they were
Hmm.
able to cut it off. Does that
Yeah,
make
I was
sense?
thinking.
No, but they
Yeah,
used the tractor beam for it.
To pull it in, right? Am I wrong?
No, they used it to cut the piece too.
that's what Scotty says. He says we can use a tractor beam to slice off a piece.
Oh, very likely. I guess. I
But
don't know.
that's not a cutting beam. All it's supposed to do is pull the piece towards you.
And away,
No,
or pull it away, or
that's
keep it
true.
Well,
alongside of you.
that'd
It's
be
designed to move, right? To move other objects, right?
yeah. It didn't make no sense. But the phasers did do absolutely nothing to it.
Well, and with the phasers, I'm sort of on pop culture curator side. Is that when they were first enveloped by the cloud, it was just sort of a blanket. Okay, fire into the cloud.
Yeah, the
Uh,
cloud itself is like the skin, so it's
yeah,
protective of the inside.
and then once they get pulled more into the cloud, I think that's when you see those, for lack of a better term, stalagmites and stalactites, and let's cut off the antimatter parts and the white blood cells and all that jazz. Once you got deeper into it. That was my understanding. But you're right about the. He does say we should slice it off with the tractor beam, and I was like, hang on a second, and then I just sort of forgot about it because I was like, okay, they'll use phasers, and then they'll use the tractor beam to bring it in.
Right. I
So
filled in the blanks too, I think, and
yeah,
and
same here.
Gorilla
I'm not,
caught that omission.
I'm just
Very good.
nitpicking the nitpick.
Oh, that's
Oh, fair
wonderful,
enough.
though.
Hey, man.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
So I guess that's why when they shot it, the beam was yellow instead of blue or red, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thought.
Mhm. And also, apparently, this is the first time the inside nacelles of the Enterprise show up on screen, according to the official book.
First
Mm.
and last time, isn't it? If they do it again.
Well, they switched to an actual like warp core there in TNG, so they show a warp core,
Mhm.
so it's designed a lot differently than this. But
Right.
that's also 100 years in the future.
Gotcha. So so thank you, Jill. I was wondering why is this so long and vast? So this is the nacelle. That's very cool.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Spock is trying to determine if the cloud has any intelligence. To that end, he figured out that it has a brain, where the electrical activity is the highest. And Kirk makes a difficult decision, determining that he needs to use photon torpedoes to destroy the cloud's brain, um, choosing the life of everybody, the 82 million on Mantilles over the cloud. So it's that classic conundrum.
Oh, pop culture. They do show the insides of nacelles again, but that I remember that's in Enterprise when they had to take shelter inside the nacelles from an ion storm. And they had to shut the
Gotcha.
whole ship down, but they had to
Cool.
take shelter inside the nacelles because they're the most heavily shielded area of the ship.
Were they a lot smaller since it was an older vessel?
I don't know. They could fit 85 people in there.
Oh, I guess it is a smaller vessel. That makes
Plus,
sense.
and
Because I
plus
imagine
all
the
the
vessels got bigger over the years, right? Not smaller.
yeah.
Yeah, we get to see inside the nacelles on TNG too, but it was during a terrible episode. It was a terrible rendition of the Telltale Heart on TNG.
Best
But
not
it was
Which,
discussed.
which
it was pretty cool though to see
yeah,
inside there.
which episode was that?
Oh, I don't remember the name of it. It was a Troy episode.
Yeah, it's the one where the person is like standing at the door opens and they're standing there. And it's like, I know what I have to do, and then throws themselves into the energy
Mhm.
beam. And then there's a it's a Worf, or it's a Worf and Troy episode. It's the first time they become
Oh,
boyfriend
oh
girlfriend,
my
I
god!
think.
But okay, but the whole thing is a
Oh,
hallucination anyway, so none of it matters. I hate
But
that
it
episode.
was well,
sounds
it's
like
a
an
whole
episode.
other conversation.
Sounds like Jill wants me to defend that episode on a
Oh
Thursday.
yeah, that would be good. Yeah, well, go for it because I hate it.
Well,
Yeah,
I've said for 3 weeks because I had a couple people on my panel last Thursday, so they got the pick.
I know I was supposed to pick one. I never chose one, so there's mine.
Okay, well, so I got to figure out which one
Yeah.
Troy and Worf get it on at. Alrighty.
There. Yeah, and that was also terrible because it's Troy's fantasy, so Worf is behaving like a human. It's just awful. Okay. Anyway, um, I also love how shocked the crew are at the potential of killing life. Um, but of course, saving millions is a valid excuse, and of course, Captain Kirk has to make a decision, and he has to be strong in his decision. So he does that. And Spock realizes that torpedoes won't be enough to destroy it. In order to do so, they will have to self-destruct the ship before it reaches Mantilles. So Kirk orders Scotty to set that up so that the bridge can carry it out when it's time. And, like Scotty was saying, nobody's crying over it, even though they all know this could happen. Yeah. And, yeah.
sorry, I got some of those out of order.
Oh, what do you have out of order? What's going on? Oh, don't start any unreliable narrator stuff. Crosses and garlic and holy water. Oh, oh my god. Yeah, maybe that's why I don't like that episode. The whole damn thing is just okay. No, okay, yeah, you're right. We can't go down that road right now.
Well, the episode is called Eye of the Beholder.
Thank you.
I the
You're welcome.
beholder. Okay.
Meanwhile, the view screen is a lava lamp.
Yeah, I had a lava lamp. Those things were cool until that thing exploded.
Oh my god,
That would be a mess, yes?
gross. My lava lamp never exploded.
They weren't using it right.
Well, never plug it into a 220, right?
Because my things didn't explode. I was using them wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
You're telling
Jim
me when you were a
Bob.
kid you never blew stuff up for the hell of it? Like, I think it's pretty damn cool when you throw a golf ball inside a campfire. That thing's pretty damn cool.
Well, yeah, no, just fireworks. Governor Wesley calls to say that they were able to save 5,000 children. But, of course,
Out of 82 million.
yeah, out of 82 million, he's definitely down on it, but he calls to give that report.
Well, and then Kirk says, "Where's Allison?" And Bob is like, "Right here with me." And it's like, you wouldn't send your daughter on the transport ship?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you
what I was
gotta
thinking.
you gotta think of the politics there. And plus, the daughter wasn't she like 13 or so? So she's like
11.
probably go, Dad, I'm gonna stay with you. Let someone else take my seat.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Although it
Yeah.
is still tragic, but
Yeah, they couldn't save all of the children. They just saved some children.
that's
when
true.
they've had this trope in past movies and TV shows, it's usually by lottery.
Oh, yeah. Well, and
Well, they
Governor.
didn't have time to pick a lottery yet. I think it came first one to get their kids there gets the seat.
That would be a mob.
The
I think
lottery
they would.
would make more sense.
Yeah, but this is the future. Maybe some people are like they go, let your kid go. We'll, blah 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 blah.
But
Type
they don't
deal.
get into the details of all of that, so that's a good question.
Shut up, Wesley, says Deej in the chat.
Nobody likes Wesley.
But
Different
this
Wesley.
is a
This is a
different
different
Wesley,
It was so funny at the Star Trek conventions, people telling Gene Roddenberry that to his face.
yeah, which is weird for him because that's his full name is Eugene Wesley.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of funny there with Will Wheaton there. He goes like I can't remember the full text, but he was like warning. I swear to God, the next person who says "Shut up, Wesley" or something like that, then Patrick Stewart put in the comment section there, "Shut up, Will."
Did you know that if you tweeted "Shut up, Wesley" to Will Wheaton, that is a good way that is a way to be blocked by Will Wheaton.
Oh, what a
Uh,
surprise! He doesn't like it, huh?
the,
You figured it would have grown on him by now.
no one there. No, my heart would burn. That was bring a tear to my eye. They're being blocked by Will Wheaton.
Well, hopefully they'll say it in this upcoming new season of Picard, right?
Oh, I swear to God, there was a meme going around for the longest time when in Picard they had some admiral going, "Picard, shut the fuck up." And then
Written and
someone
directed by
Yeah, except that actually
directed
happened.
Will
Yeah,
Wheaton.
unfortunately, it actually happened on screen. That's how bad that show is.
Yeah, but they had that scene there where it says Picard, shut the fuck up, and underneath it said written by Will Wheaton, directed by Will Wheaton, produced by Will Wheaton.
Revenge for all those years.
Yeah.
And so, in
And so
order to
Kirk,
communicate,
yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just.
Oh,
All right, and this is what Deej was suggesting earlier. Why don't they just mind meld?
but no, that was a good segue though. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And Kirk gives Spock the idea to try a Vulcan mind meld, which
Now,
which is described as one of the biggest stretches for this episode a little bit.
mm-hmm.
I thought so too. I thought that's a little fantastic, but
Yeah.
hey,
It almost takes me out of it a little bit unbelievable, but they do their best to try to make it make some sense.
right? They're basically using the ship like an antenna, I guess, to broadcast.
Yes, they're
Mm-hmm.
using their sensors on the electrical impulses of the cloud's brain, which is fed into the ship's computer, to somehow convert it into thought, while also, like you said, broadcasting Spock's thoughts. And to be fair on that, though, neurology is a very complex subject, so I think they did a fairly reasonable job considering the time they have to explain it, and it's pretty imaginative.
I allowed it. I did well, and also, isn't there like there's one at least one episode where Spock isn't actually in physical contact with the person that he's sort of suggesting to, like with the mind meld. He's been in jail cells before and sort of just touched the wall where the other side was the guard, and then
Yeah,
that
that's
person would
fair.
come and do stuff. And so a
Hmm.
certain level of proximity, I'm kind of okay with, and because they were within the creature, I allowed it. And it is a stretch. It's a huge stretch, but it also just made me wonder as to whether or not they could have done that with the amoeba from the immunity syndrome. But then again, the amoeba from the immunity syndrome may not have been intelligent.
Right, right. It could have just been instinctual.
Exactly.
But good luck, Hungry. There. I hope your power works. I know you can stick around as long as you can. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope your energy stays on too. I hope you don't lose power.
You should get some antimatter and have it put into the nacelles, and that'll regenerate, and you can just get matter from the destroyed planet around you.
Hmm. Yeah, it worked for Scotty.
There you go.
O'Hara believes she can run those thoughts through the universal translator, and she was right. It ends up working. And her actually gets a lot of good little lines throughout this whole episode, which is really great to hear. And I don't go over all of them or anything, but she's already getting a whole lot more to do in the animated series,
Yeah, it's great.
which will tie into next week's episode really well.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, but you gotta remember this was an era after the civil rights movement, so that their civil rights movements were still going on in '67, weren't they? Pop culture.
Pretty much. Well, I was a child back then, very young, but yes, from what I've deemed, it was pretty much the '60s there. That's when they had the Million Man March, Martin Luther King, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So now this is like a decade after that. So they're able to give her more lines because it's not. What was it? All right. Never mind. I forgot where I was going with it.
That's okay. Maybe you'll remember later.
Well, you get what I'm saying, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, kind of the gist with it.
Yep. And this is where we get a look at their space age state of the art chronometer. You can even hear it click as it changes digits.
Yeah.
So does that mean that that's the star date? Is it 53713?
I was wondering that as well.
I guess the start date would be 5371.3.
Well, and I thought the point would be whatever's going on the right hand side here. So it would be 53713 point.
Yeah,
and
then,
that'd be rounded off. Maybe the one.
Yeah.
But in Kirk's area, or in the original series, it was always like 4739.2 or something. There's always
Well,
four digits.
Does he say the start? Does he do the captain log at the beginning of these episodes? I forgot.
Yes.
I need to go back and listen to the beginning, I guess.
Yeah, I'll Google it here.
Yeah, it says star date 5371.3.
Okay, so yeah.
And we know they probably use this animation more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all they have to do is change the numbers.
It was a good question, though.
So, doing all of that, Spock is able to communicate with the cloud, voiced by Major Barrett, to great effect.
Mm-hmm.
And Pop Culture Curator just brought up a question from Son of a Red Shirt. Do you guys consider the animated series canon, soft canon, or not canon at all?
I consider it canon. What do you guys think?
I keep it along the same lines as Prodigy and Lord X. You know, it's just fun to look around.
Oh, what? For shame! That's blasphemy.
Yeah, but those aren't Star Trek.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it in the same class.
Way more.
Hey, I like Lord X and I like Prodigy, and I also like Strange New Worlds.
That's okay. We're not knocking that. I'm just saying, please don't put this in the same.
Well, it's okay if you like them, but this was written by Gene Roddenberry, DC Fontana, the original writers from actual Star Trek.
Oh, what? Are we supposed to dig them up from the grave and have them rewrite us new Star Trek?
No, I'm not saying that.
No, but
I'm just saying that this has more authority. It has more of the original DNA from the original Star Trek.
Oh.
So.
It's in a different class by itself.
But it's all right if you like the new stuff.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine.
I'm not gonna diss that, but
yeah. Oh, were you guys on Bert's stream when he mentioned Gene Roddenberry today?
I'm sorry.
I only caught part of Bird of Prey 5 stream. What did he say about Gene?
Okay, you cannot make this shit up. So they're launching the Shell Nichols ashes up into space on one of the Vulcan rockets there, and they're gonna launch her into deep space. But the ashes of Gene Roddenberry and Major Barrett will also be on the same rocket. So he's going to have his wife and his mistress, or his side chick, on the same rocket for the rest of their ashes for the rest of however long the rocket lasts.
But I'm sure that's not the spirit in which they're being put there together. It's because they're part of Star Trek.
But still,
I get your point.
You can't make that shit up.
I can understand Roddenberry, but
Roddenberry wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I guess
right. They were together till the end, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he and Major were together till the end. For sure.
Yeah, but they're sending them up in the same ship as Nichelle Nichols. That's the funny part.
They're
Yeah,
they're
but
sending Nichelle Nichols up there too, part of her.
Yeah,
mhm.
all on the same ship.
Oh, wow! It's too bad they couldn't have done the other cast when they passed away. But no, at least they're getting them up there. That's wonderful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
William
Well,
Shatner definitely
are they
belongs
gonna?
up there. I don't really
Did you
care
say?
about. Go
Oh
ahead.
wait, I'm wondering if they're putting. I thought maybe they said that you're going to be putting like a lot of the original series in their DNA. With I'd have to see where Bird of Prey got his news from.
Did you say they're going in orbit of Earth or the sun?
No, they're going out into deep space.
Oh, in
Deep
deep
space.
space.
It's not
Oh,
Earth's
okay,
orbit.
great.
No, they're going to be launching it. It's just going to keep on going.
Well, too bad it doesn't have a monitor on there playing Star Trek in a loop, huh? That way, if
Hmm.
aliens run
But
across it, they'll understand.
they already put some of Gene in Earth orbit, so this must be another portion that they've been
Yeah, here I'll look it up.
having.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going
Yeah.
to exhume the bodies of the dead people. So I think DNA. You mean DNA samples from their relatives?
Well, I'm only familiar with James Doohan. I know that he was cremated, and some
Yes.
of his ashes were sent in orbit. I don't know
Yes.
what the wishes for the remains were from Jean or Nichelle or Major.
Or
Mm,
divorce Kelly. That's what I'm thinking because he said past people. I'm thinking, huh? Maybe I
Mm.
don't know. That just sounds like I don't know. The families you'd have to get their permission. It just sounds the logistics sounds out of. It just sounds crazy. I don't know.
yeah.
But son of a red shirt, just to
Oh,
answer your
yep.
question, if
James
I can,
Doohan's
if
going with it too.
I think it's I think it's soft canon in my opinion, just because of the absence of Chekhov. But I think it is certainly like there's canon in there because of Yesteryear, which is basically the cornerstone to Vulcan,
Yeah.
alongside Amok Time.
Yeah, here's the article there. James Doohan, Michelle, or Majel Barrett, Gene Roddenberry, and Nichelle Nichols will all be on there. And they're going to, I'm guessing I think in the way it sounded, it's going to orbit the sun.
That's
Or,
interesting.
yeah,
And
that's the art.
hungry. I agree with you. Yes, I definitely. I agree with you. I think Galactus. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hungry Boy says this communicate with it to convince it not to kill is a direct ripoff of 1960s Galactus. Cool. Well, I have to watch Galactus. Putting that high up on my list.
Oh, okay. Some Richard corrected me there. They they sent them up years ago, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
is.
but
I'm
there
looking
could
at
be
the Washington
portions.
Times. Looking at the Washington Times, where this article, because thanks for putting it in the private chat, it does say that Nichelle Nichols will join um, Gene Roddenberry, Majel Barrett, and James Doohan, uh, but
In
they're not all.
space,
It doesn't seem like they're all going at the same time.
right? So I mean, it just means they're gonna join them in space.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I thought the way they made it sound is they're all going to be on the same
They
rocket
probably
ship.
wanted you to think that way.
So there's just gonna be
Well,
more space debris orbiting the Earth, right?
well, when I first heard it I was in the middle of my boss complaining about the parts, about the parts, because we're supposed to be in Friday, but they didn't come in until late today. And I was supposed to be done today, so that's how I misheard it.
The
Oh,
way
no
George
worries.
Takei
It's
talks, Deej, I'm wondering if he's already there mentally.
Ugh.
Deej says, "Can we send Sulu into deep space even if he hasn't passed yet?" Autocorrect. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yes, on the research, it's the bane of us all.
Okay,
Now
so you,
you sound like Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, yeah, I just
Oh,
okay,
his
heard it
ashes have
wrong.
been sent up several times, like an elevator.
Hmm.
and Hungry Boy continues about Galactus. Galactus is an arch foe from the beginning of our universe and Clobby's favorite comic, Jill, who eats planets to create personal energy to exist. from 1965, but not really a telly show.
Wasn't Galactus supposed
Oh,
to be in the Green Lantern movie at the end, and all we saw was a shadow, right?
Fantastic Four movie. He
Oh,
was in
one of those.
Yeah, yeah. That's no, Klobby has good taste. I like the Fantastic Four a lot myself.
Oh,
yeah,
big
me
fan.
too.
Ever
Oh
since I was a kid. Oh,
my.
yes, my
I
favorites.
know he has a good taste. He's why I even want to one day get into comics when I have time. I don't know when
It's
that's
so
going to be.
sad knowing we'll never get a good Fantastic Four that is faithful to the comics.
I'm always hoping. I always want it to be good. We'll see.
Don't give up. Don't give up on us, deed. So sorry.
So, um, so as we continue with this episode, Spock is still trying to communicate with the cloud. He's talking. He's able to speak with it in very broken sentences, and even with the extensive explanation, the cloud doesn't really seem to understand. So Spock takes the communication deeper into a mind meld so that the cloud can see through Spock's eyes briefly. And the cloud is able to see the crew of the Enterprise, and Kirk has her show images of Earth to it and how Earth is full of other beings before it is finally convinced of the existence of the other beings and decides it doesn't want to eat them after all.
No desire to eat other beings.
Yeah.
And that is a clip from this cartoon series Lassie. That's actually Lassie.
Is it really?
I didn't
Yes,
know
it
there was a
is.
cartoon
Uh,
Lassie.
Yeah,
That's
Filmation
awesome.
made it Lassie's cartoon, and that's
Wow.
that's a still from it
Because when I was a kid,
or a
they had
video.
they had reruns of Lassie I would watch, but I never knew that there was a cartoon. That's cool.
Not desire to consume other beings.
Good impression.
Thanks.
I don't know. I'm too much of a carnivore for that.
Oh, I never even thought about it. So
And
this
hungry
cloud
for
is accidentally vegan.
accidentally, unintentional.
Fortunately,
Unintentional.
well, it's a cow, right?
Right. Grazing. Yes.
Well, it's eating people. Most people aren't
Well, I didn't mean
vegetables.
to. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't
And
know it. Beans.
hungry for easier days and more sleep says a fab part of this was showing the alternate intelligence and empathy. Just as a kid, I adored. Just at our end as a kid, I adored that. I totally agree with you.
Me too. And the Enterprise is able to exit the cloud, and the cloud decides to go back to where it came from, even though it's a long journey. And that corroborates Spock's idea that the cloud does not come from our galaxy.
Deej in the chat says, Lassie, what is it, boy? Did Scotty R37 fall down the well? Nope, I'm here. Everything's fine.
That's good.
So yeah, and then and then the interesting thing is that they did, like, Spock got to sort of feel the consciousness of the cloud, and Kirk says at the end, "What did you, what knowledge did you gain?" And Spock's just the vastness of the galaxy. It's very reverential to all of the experiences. This episode really does remind me of a cross between the Immunity Syndrome, uh, uh, the Doomsday Machine, Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and Metamorphosis, where they go to the planet with the cloud that is
Oh,
with
man.
Cochrane.
Yeah.
So I liked it. It reminded me of a lot of things. It was, but this is part of the reason why I'm sort of going on this journey with you guys and watching these, is because it is original series Star Trek that I do consider somewhat canon, and these are new stories,
Mhm.
and so even if they aren't the bestest in the world, they're still pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's a lot of things in the live action show that you want to say is not canon. So even if we get to parts like, the holodeck and stuff that we might have questions over,
Hmm.
um, that this is just as much canon as any of the other live action shows. And
Sounds like D just tired.
Oh, and the quote is here in the official guide. Spock, what did you perceive? And Spock says, "The wonders of the universe, Captain.
That's
Incredible,
it.
completely incredible." Which is far stronger than just saying fascinating.
Yes. But yeah, Hungry says this ep is a fab goulash, taking different
Yeah,
elements and adding new
yeah,
spices. I agree.
yeah. Spock stole that from Q.
Have you ever heard the audio drama where they have Q and Spock debate?
No, I haven't got it. Can you put it in the private chat?
Is it
I
on
know.
Audible?
Yeah, I think it's on Audible.
I need to hear that. I think I might have. I'm not sure.
It's sort of tongue in cheek. It's not really in the characters, but it's kind of fun to hear Leonard Nimoy and John Delancey
Hmm. Oh,
converse.
absolutely. They would have been incredible together. So I guess they
Hmm.
were.
I hear John Delancey's a really nice guy.
He
He,
really
he,
is. He's super nice. He's practically hugging me in my photo op. So yeah, he's very
Yeah.
nice.
Here you go. Here's something that's really you guys gotta check out after the stream.
the reason why
It's
I'm sharing this screen is I wanted to show you guys. I want to give you a sample of other things that were playing during the same season that
Oh,
Star
nice.
Trek: The Animated Series came out, as a frame of reference for those old of us people around here, or for people who weren't around. This is what we are comparing this series to, pretty much. So we had Speed Buggy, Yogi's Gang, Adam's Family, the cartoon, and of course Scooby Doo, Where Are You? The Bugs Bunny Roadrunner. I'm sure you guys remember that.
Oh
The
Mhm.
yeah.
animated I Dream of Jeannie, and there's the Hong Kong Phooey.
hey, wait, Scooby Doo's that old? I thought that was the 80s and
60s.
90s.
It's no, it started in the 60s. That's why
Oh, I thought
Shaggy is like a pothead.
yeah, I thought it was a lot early or a lot later than that.
Oh no. I Dream of Jeannie, among others. You can see even the show Emergency had a cartoon, and there's the New Adventures of Gilligan's Island, the animated.
Yeah.
Wait,
Um,
Gilligan's Island had an
Don't worry about
that
it. It's not good.
it's by
hey,
Filmation, so you'll even recognize the music.
hey, Jill.
Yes.
I watch bad shit for fun. That's why I defend it on Thursday. So I'm gonna check that out now.
It's not because it's terrible. Well,
You
because the
convinced
problem,
me to watch it by
Gillig-
just telling me it's terrible.
see, Gilligan's Island live action was already a cartoon. They just had to transpose it exactly, and it would have been great. But no, they hammed it up in a very terrible way in the cartoon.
Yeah, but at least they have the original cast, so I give them credit for that.
That's true.
And I wanted to point something out over on the right, Land of the Lost. If any of you remember the dinosaur stop motion show that was on, those
Hmm.
creatures were done by Wah Chang, who also worked on Star Trek,
Oh
TOS.
wow.
So basically, yeah, he had worked after Star Trek before he retired. And there's a lot of information out there on him. He was really good. And if you guys remember Shazam and ISIS, that was other Filmation properties at the time. There's a good old Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. Who can forget that, right? Batman cartoon. Oh, Super Friends. That's right. And there's a good old Pink Panther. And there it is. Nestled among all the others is Star Trek NBC. And it says a few excellent second season scripts were scattered among reruns from the previous year.
Oh, and you
Uh,
didn't have to wake up too early for Star Trek.
nope.
Really
And it
good.
was great. But I do remember that they were repeating a lot of
I,
the
I
episodes.
I have to step away for a bit. I'll be right back.
Go for it. And we have the Jetsons and okay, American Bandstand. I'm sure most of you guys remember that. The good old Fat Albert, of course.
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back.
Oh, we're losing half our panel.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm here for you, pop culture. I'm not going anywhere.
I appreciate that, Scotty. That means a lot to me. And I'm going to open up a graphic here. I'm going to see if I can share. There's a video that I've been working on that I'm putting together. It's kind of complicated, so I'll be posting it soon. I just haven't decided if I'm just going to produce the video and then post it, or if I can do it as a stream, so I can get everyone's opinion while I'm doing it, or because it's going to be something that's kind of there'll be a lot of debate and probably people upset with me
Ooh,
for posting it. It's a controversial, I guess would be the word.
this will be interesting.
I'll pull up the thumbnail here. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, and then you can yell at me. Let me see here. Share. I'm a little slow here. Bear with me.
Oh no, not at
All
all.
right. All right.
And here it is. This is the thumbnail I'm currently working on.
Ooh.
Who is the Wait. Are we trying to guess who the father Wesley is?
Well, it's
I
Jack
guess so,
Crusher.
right?
Well, everybody thinks that Wesley's real father is supposed to be Picard.
It was
Isn't?
Wait,
hinted
what?
at.
Yeah,
Who? Wait.
everybody assumes that Wesley's real father is Picard, and Crusher just covered it up because she was technically married to Jack at the time.
But
And hey,
the thing
Dalek.
is, the only problem with that theory is when the episode Attached comes along and they very specifically and intimately discuss their relationship at the time. And Picard, they never got busy. Because Crusher even says, Beverly says, I didn't even know you had these feelings about me.
Hey, you don't really need feelings to stick it in.
Well, maybe not. But in more evolved level of humanity in the 24th century, perhaps it is preferable.
You
Hello,
think
Dalek. Good to see you. Thank you for
hey,
joining us.
hey,
Hey, Dalek.
hey, Scotty, where do you think they're going? Do you think we'll be that evolved?
Well, I'm trying to see the utopian future for what it is, as opposed to the scandalous. Like what you're describing is a little bit too Discovery for my liking. When we'll get a dun dun dun, Picard was actually Wesley's father. I don't want that.
Yeah, hungry. It's funny you mentioned this topic that my thumbnail's about. I've been banned from channels just for bringing it up, and I've
Now
been
I've
saying for like 2 years that I need to do a video of my own so I can actually get it out there.
Wait,
sure.
what's this going to be about?
Who is the father of Star Trek? Who's the one that created Star Trek?
Oh, Gene
Now
Coon.
Possibly.
that's what I was going to ask. Is it going to be Roddenberry versus Kuhn? Is it the battle of the genes?
Nope.
Oh wow. Okay.
The
Yeah.
other
Oh,
person, it was not even other than the creation of Star. If it's this, by the way, I'm not telling you my opinion on which one I think it is. I'm just
Right.
going to be laying the facts out there and the similarities in the timeline, and let the audience do the judging.
Yeah. Oh,
And I'll be showing clips of some of their work and some of their previous work, so you can kind of get an idea.
yeah.
that's
Because
interesting.
the one thing a lot of people say is that Gene Roddenberry is real good at taking credit for other people's work.
That is not untrue, and he's not the only one, if true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This
And
person who also deserves credit for other shows and properties as well. I'll say that. I just don't want to give away too much. I want to keep it mysterious.
yeah,
So my
absolutely.
question for you guys is: do you think I should just produce it as a video and put it out, or make it as a topic for a live stream?
Well, if you've been thinking about it for 2 years, I wouldn't want to get if it was something that I had been thinking about for 2 years, I wouldn't want to do it as a live stream. I'd probably want to do it as a produced video, just so that I could be as concise. As you mentioned, you've been banned from channels and people don't like discussing it. So being as articulate and concise as possible and being able to outline your argument is probably more important than doing it as a live stream. And you can always do a premiere and engage with the audience in the chat.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was thinking too. If I produce it, that way I can get it uninterrupted, and it'll make sense if somebody's watching. Because if I'm trying to discuss it and show the steps along as I go, we're going to be stopping and starting and debating, and people
Right.
get confused.
Right, and I want you to be able to present your arguments, whether or not you're like. It's good that you're not telling anybody what it is that you believe, but I want you to
Well,
be able
like I said, it's
to
not
put
my
it out.
opinion. It's just it's something that interesting that I've discovered that I just think people should know. I mean, why not? I mean,
Oh, for sure,
right?
absolutely.
And if it's like UFOs and ghosts, if it's bull, then it's bull. And like I said, so my opinion. And by the way, it's not to knock Gene Roddenberry in any way. I'm a Star Trek fan since I was born, and that will never change.
Ditto,
So
ditto,
that's
and
not the
that's
point of the video, and that's what the problem on the other channels is. When if I try to bring it up, they think I'm attacking Gene Roddenberry. They automatically take it as a personal attack. I'm like, no, no, that's not what I mean.
well, and that's walking on eggshells when you talk about Gene, because and when we were talking about his 101st birthday, there are swinging 60s happenings, and the man loved the ladies and the drink and the he had an affinity for recreational substances. But
Oh
that
yeah,
doesn't take.
yes. Yep. What's interesting is that we learn more about Gene Roddenberry when we read from books and things about written by people around him, like the book that I've been quoting from for Jill's stream here, Inside Star Trek by Herbert Solow and Robert Justman. I'm
Yes.
learning a lot more about Gene and Lucille Ball than just Gene's point of view, right? And I also ordered an out of print book. Thank goodness it's going to be coming on eBay, and that is The Making of Star Trek. It's been out of print since 1993, and it was written right after the second season, before the third season, before they even knew it was going to be renewed. But it's like really behind the scenes with actual sketches, blueprints, like the bridge, actual numbers of how the episodes cost to produce, and all that stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'd like to learn more about Gene too, which is why I found his authorized biography that he had David Alexander write. So eventually I'll read that and I'll know more someday. That'll be great.
Oh, and pop
I
culture
need to get
curator,
caught up on the chat.
you could
Hmm.
do yeah, for sure. But and just as another suggestion, you could do the produced video and then do a live stream reaction from people who want to have a conversation about it after.
That's what I was thinking, right? If I produce it and then, like for example, let's say if I had it now, already produced and already published on the channel, and then I can invite you guys and say, okay, or we can watch it together for the first time. Doesn't matter to me,
That's
Yep.
a
and
good
then get your
idea.
opinion, and I can pause it.
Uh,
Jill just
are
walked
you
in. I'm
are
not
you
sure how much you heard.
are you keeping a secret who the
I
other
I have
potential
not.
father is,
Yes,
or
I
are
have
you
not.
yeah, okay, you're gonna reveal it when you reveal
All
the
right, let's
video.
just say
Cool.
I'm no Maury Povich, so I'm going to keep it a secret.
Okay.
And you didn't hear Jill because you were away from the keyboard, but it's a very controversial subject. I've had people ban me from the channel just for bringing it up, even though I'm not trying to change anybody's opinion. And I haven't made.
Hmm.
I love Gene Roddenberry, so I
Yeah,
don't
me
have an
too.
opinion either way. It's just that it's a fascinating subject that I think doesn't hurt to be discussed.
Mm-mm.
And I looked it up, and there's not that many discussions on this topic.
Hi, hello to Dalek 451. This is hi
So
too.
good to see you, Dalek.
Oh, all right. Well, I look forward to that video.
I did mention on Jill's stream last week that Lucille Ball actually thought Star Trek was a show about celebrities on a cruise.
Yeah, that's not surprising. That's like when Carl Sagan went to the library asking for books about the stars, and he got a book on celebrities. And he was like, "Wait, not these kind of stars."
That's funny.
And Son of a Red Shirt, I will send out an invite, and I'm just putting the pieces together now and trying to figure out the best way to structure it. I'm not good with live production, so I'll do my best, and then I will send out an invite to everybody that I know.
Awesome. I look forward to it. I can't wait. Let the controversy begin.
Son of a red shirt in the chat says, "If you see Star Trek as a child and say Gene's the father, that doesn't necessarily preclude that the child would have had other influences in its life to shape it, just like any one of us had." I like that.
Hmm.
Yep, that is so true.
That there are definitely more than it. Gene was the genesis of it, but there were definitely lots more people involved in making it actually happen.
And Deej, I'm not sure who Captain Foley is, but sure, you're welcome to invite him.
Oh, Captain Foley is on a channel called Trek Yards.
Oh, I think I've
Junkyard.
seen that. That's where a couple guys review Star Trek, I guess, right? I think I've seen that.
Well, they started off just really delving into the ships as the title implies, but they've gone really like across the board in terms of reviews and discussing references and the
Hmm.
histories of certain. It's a great channel. I highly recommend if you're a Star Trek fan. They have good conversations.
All right. Shout out to Truck Yard. Thank you.
Hmm.
Anybody in the chat? For those of you in the chat, I need to start putting polls out there. Uh, what did you guys think of the episode in the chat? Did you guys like it? Have you seen it? Are you familiar with it? Any
This one's
opinions?
a+ for me. I love this episode a lot.
Oh, me too. It can't go wrong. The writing, like I said, the fact that it talks to everybody like they're intelligent and it gives us something to think about and discuss.
Hmm.
It's
And
fantastic, and especially
multiple
for so
points
old.
of multiple points of real science. And
Right.
that always sells. That always wins my heart.
And you know, and it's sad, and this is all these years later, and you think that we'd be able to write much, much better about much more advanced things in science, and it just seems like we've reverted the opposite direction. It's sad.
And I think it's just a problem with modern entertainment anyway. Like this is sort of a paced show. It's not action packed all the time. You do have to sit and watch and absorb the dialogue. It just doesn't turn into pew pew pew.
And there is enough action though when there needs to be.
Oh,
But
for
you're right.
sure.
You have to be listening and
Mm-hmm.
paying attention to enjoy it. I guess people don't have as much of attention span for that kind of thing.
I agree with you, Deej.
Well, Jill, you're looking
And
at a
Hungry Boy.
generation that watches 30-second videos for entertainment.
And Hungry Boy also gives it A plus plus plus. Lots of sci-fi, but lots of heart and some great art. Yeah,
It's
that's a
just too,
fair point.
yeah, it's too bad they only made 22 episodes.
Yeah,
But it's
I'm gonna
just
give
20
it.
minutes.
Yeah, I'm giving it a B because like I said, I brought up a bunch of different questions in there.
Which we
Yeah.
And those are
appreciate.
valid questions. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
like those questions.
See, and it's funny again being this sort of early on in watching it. I kind of want to give it a B plus because I liked it because it was thoughtful. I thought it did sort of take some things from, well, and I guess that's not entirely fair because they hadn't even made Star Trek the motion picture yet, but they sort of borrowed from some other stuff. But it's a solid episode.
Yeah. Well, I still think after what happened to the Intrepid, they learned not to stick the starship in weird places.
Well, they had
Mhm.
to put themselves between the cloud to
They
figure out
didn't
how to
have
keep
to;
it
they
from
chose to.
to well,
Yeah.
they had to investigate it to figure out how to keep it from getting to the planet.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah, I'll swing by there and say hi, Deej. I don't know how much I'll be able to watch this weekend because I'm going on a road trip, but I'll
nice.
swing by there.
Oh my God, you are not really going to do that again. Oh, dear Lord. Deej Odyssey in the next comment. Well, I'll wait for you to throw it up, Pop Culture. He's just,
Go back up. Let's see.
No,
it's the last one. Just throwing this out to y'all too. If you find yourself bored at any point this weekend from Friday to Sunday, I'm being stupid again and doing a 48-hour live stream.
Oh
Just throwing it
wow.
out. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah,
Nice.
he did
How can
a
you
long one
how
before.
can you even talk for 48 hours? I find it hard enough talking for half an hour for half an hour on my stream. So well, unless I have someone to bounce off of, then it's
I
not so
know.
bad.
I know,
But
right? I've done a 4.5-hour live stream. That's my longest one about Gene, and that was it.
yeah, but you had 6 people to bounce off of. So
Exactly. Well, yeah, he's planning on having a ton of people
yeah, I'd hope
join
so
his
because
stream.
I don't know what you can talk about for 48 hours straight.
Yeah, so everybody sub to Deej Odyssey's channel. That sounds like fun. I will try to stop by Deej.
I agree, Gorilla. I couldn't do it because I have to have a thing that I want to talk about. But these marathon streams are kind of a thing that some people like to do. Jedi Bill did one before too for I think how long? 70 hours was it? I
It was
forget how long.
crazy.
It was
Yeah,
nuts.
multiple days. I lost count.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the longest live stream I've done, but nothing. Never even double digits. Heavens.
No,
The longest I've done was 3.5 hours, and that was a watch party, I believe.
Nice. Well, it's too much of a marathon for mine, but I will absolutely come by and check out yours, Deej. And I am. Where are we? Okay.
Well, at least at any hour of the night that I want to party during the weekend, I know where to go.
There you go.
Yeah, make sure you drink plenty and then give them some support, right?
And
Encouragement.
Deej, I am subscribed. Thank you.
I have a question for everybody on the panel and in the chat
Hmm.
because I've been wondering: have any of you guys seen the old Star Trek bloopers from the TOS that used to go around the conventions?
No.
Yes.
No?
Uh,
Yes?
I've seen a few of them.
Majel Barrett used to carry around reels with her 16 millimeter film, and herself, she would set up the
Um,
projector screen in front of the audience, and then she'd go to the back of the room and run the projector.
I wasn't that lucky. I think probably they were just showing me YouTube videos.
By the time you came around, probably so. But the old used to for many years, the only way to see them was at a convention, and then eventually somebody
Hmm.
recorded them, bootlegged them, and they became on available for very expensive on VHS tapes. And then eventually, I know they're on YouTube under various qualities. The quality's not usually that good. Um, but I was what it's my I guess my get to my point is if people are interested in seeing them, I can show them in bits and pieces. I just don't know if people are into that sort of thing. So I'll leave
Yeah,
it up to you to decide, and then
people
maybe
love
I'll add them
bloopers.
in
What?
some future
Well,
streams.
it just depends on how long they are. You know.
There's I can't remember how many reels. I think three if I remember, but either in total they're 20 minutes, and right now I have broke up in 5 minute segments. But I can break them up even smaller than that. I can break them up by
Mhm.
the actual clip themselves. Some of them are only a few seconds long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those could be good bumpers.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they might be right. But the art, if anybody hasn't seen them, they're fascinating. A lot of them are shot right there while the series was being produced, and you'll see
Yes,
them make mistakes on some of the famous episodes that we've watched before.
I'd love to see those. That's great.
Hmm.
So put one in the chat if you guys say yes to seeing the bloopers in the future, and no if you don't care or if you've already seen them. But that's all I wanted to ask. Go ahead, guys. Continue. Thank
Yes.
you.
Continue with the with what?
Oh, I guess we probably come to close to the end. Let's see. Have I caught up
That's
with
what
the
I was
chat?
thinking. Yeah, I don't know.
I keep getting distracted, and I feel bad. Everybody in the chat, please forgive me. I'm not trying to avoid your chats, and I'm trying to get everybody in there. I wish I could address everyone that's in there. There's so many people. I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, Hungry Boy says he hasn't done a 48-hour talkathon since '97.
Yeah, Bill's always on there, right? Not as much as he used to be. I miss his soups.
Yeah, he has the soup every now and then, but then it turns out to be on a day that I can't be there. So,
Yeah, and for
or
me sometimes it's
or
kind of
then
late.
something else is going on because there's a lot of fun stuff on YouTube happening.
Oh, always. It's so hard to try to find a place to do a stream. There's always
Mhm.
somebody on. Bill, he shouldn't have said he would do anything for a super chat.
Oh, right.
Bill's a nice
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
Bill,
let's not talk about that.
yeah, Bill's a very nice guy, and he finds it difficult to say no to people.
And Son of a Red
Yeah,
Shirt
Yeah.
says to
That's
you,
why I had to watch Sparkling Vampires for I can't remember how many subs stream.
go
right.
ahead, Jill.
um, Son of a Red Shirt says to Pop Culture Curator, gonna make a real effort to catch up on my Star Trek animated. Haven't watched it in years. You convinced me. It's definitely worth refreshing my memory with that classic series. Yeah, and the first 3 episodes have been great. I've been
Yes.
expecting to come up with, finally an episode that's not so good, but it just hasn't happened yet. They've all been A's for me.
Yep, no disappointments yet. So I totally agree. And yes, thank you. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and pleased when you watch them.
Hmm.
Yes, the Gorn was in a few of those. A Hungry Boy says bloopers are fun. I've seen a few plus a bit of YouTube ones with the Gorn. Yes, there's a couple with the Gorn. Those are clips from the arena episode.
I'm gonna have to go and seek those out again. Those are great. Son
And
of a
Son of a
Red
Red
Shirt
Shirt.
says,
Go ahead, Scotty. Thank you.
That's how I got to know Bill through the Insomniac Soup. Sadly, he doesn't do his flagship show so much anymore now that the karaoke has taken off for him. And those karaoke nights are really fun.
Yeah, look at his sub count. He's doing fantastic.
He sure is. So he's doing he's sticking with what works for him, which is fair.
I heard a pop. Is somebody trying to come? Hold on, I gotta scroll down. Yeah, I think somebody's trying to come in.
Oh, really?
Oh, hello, hello.
Hey, Dalek.
Hey,
Good to
Dalek.
see you, Dalek. Welcome.
Hi, Doc.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Jill. Hi, Scotty.
Hey.
And this is Gorilla's Random Thoughts.
Those random thoughts, right?
Yeah. Hey, ain't
Yeah.
it like 3 in the morning for you?
Well, it's yeah, it's a bit later than that, but it's gone 3:30 in the morning here. Yeah.
Ooh. Well, how are you doing, Dalek? Have you seen the Star Trek episode that we're talking about?
I don't know which episode you are talking about because I didn't.
One of our planets is missing.
And I agree with you, Hungry Boy. There are no sparkly vampires. I hate Twilight.
Nope, you won't find those here.
Hey, what's wrong with Twilight?
I don't like it. You can like it, but I don't.
Deej.
Yeah.
Come on.
Still not as great as Galactic hit 1980 with the flying motorcycles. Who stole my meds again?
What's there not to love about Twilight? You got werewolves, you got vampires, you got a love story, then you got people fighting over whether they're team whatever the team
It's the
Edward
worst
and
piece
who
of
they
It's the worst piece of written literature I've ever laid my eyes on.
Yeah,
Talk about Jill. Say
it-
what you really mean. You're meant to say it's the worst piece of shit you've seen.
Twilight has everything but testosterone. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It just I read it and I can't ever get into the book. It's awful.
Hello, Deej. How you doing? Welcome to the stream.
Oh, okay, I let Gorilla get by with saying he liked this new Star Trek stuff, but when you come to sparkly vampires, you cross the line.
Hi, Dee.
Yeah, in fact, Gorilla, why don't you do a defense on the entire Twilight saga?
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, there you go. Go
I'd
for
be
it,
there,
girl.
Gorilla. Yeah, let's.
The
I want you to
entire
defend on
saga.
on how much. We want you to tell us how much you love it and why.
Yep.
Okay, so I have to sit through what 8 hours of this.
You
8
wanted
hours
it.
chronologically, 32 hours mentally.
For me, it's just basically not erotica. It's awful. Anyway, Hungry Boy says Twilight is X-Men, written by a chick who doesn't want to write superheroes, who call her superheroes vampires. And I said that for a decade. No, he's maintained it.
All right, I'll defend the Twilight movies for you there, Pop Culture. I put all the credit on the stream for you.
Gorilla,
Right.
you now get the evil bunny.
Yeah, basically the only book I've ever wanted to read.
Hey, and Deej, just to correct you though, I wasn't defending all new Star Trek. I just said I like Strange New Worlds, and I think Lower Decks is really funny and fun to watch. And Prodigy, I like that because it's starting to get my kids' foot in the door to watch more Star Trek.
I would
Well,
let
why
you
don't you try
slide.
this instead? Try the animated series of Star Trek instead of, if I may recommend.
I've tried.
I would have
I'm
let you
trying.
slide on Lower Decks and that, but when you said Strange New Worlds, that's when I had to know.
What's wrong with Strange New Worlds?
Everything.
It is everything. It's an abomination.
I have all of my opinions on most of the episodes on my Friday shows.
It's everything that Star Trek isn't, and it's everything that Star Trek is not, and it's everything that the CW is.
It's basically the same as Nurse Who right now.
Nurse Who? I haven't heard that one. That's funny.
Oh, Dalek, tell us about Nurse Who.
What? No. What? No. Oh, all right. I see.
Come on, Dalek. You should have caught on to that one right off.
I should have.
Yeah, being such a huge fan.
Even though my avatar does have the TARDIS in it, and you're just a Dalek.
Uh-oh. Should we separate you? Is there going to be
No, I
extermination?
like Dalek. I like Dalek. Don't
I'm
worry.
Me too.
And
I don't know if
then
you guys heard or not, but I saw somewhere on the internet where they said they announced. Like I said, I don't know if it's true. They're saying they announced the cast for the Fantastic Four. Or who they're lining up for it. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
well, I
Oh,
seen they got the director because the director was supposed to do Star Trek 4 and quit that to go do the Fantastic Four.
Star Trek Four, Fantastic Four.
uh,
Sounds like Crescent Moon on outside the door.
Hello? Can you hear this?
yes.
Yeah, we can hear you, Dalek.
Wow, it's working. I think.
There might be a big echo, or I hear some stuff in the background. That's all. That's probably what it is.
Hmm.
But yeah, what you're doing is working.
Well, it's supposed to be voice, you know. Yeah. It's supposed to make me sound like. Oh, sorry.
Like a Dalek.
Yeah, it's supposed to make me sound like a Dalek.
That's awesome.
So a synthesizer.
Yeah, well, I've got this. Well, I've got this thing on my laptop now, which has got this. It's got this ring modulator thing, which is what thing on it, which is what what was always used to make the voice of the Daleks.
Oh,
and,
nice.
And so
Now, is that a device or a program?
no, it's a bit of software.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and I was. I tried it. Let me tell you, I tried it out a few days ago, and I found it a bit off-putting hearing my voice come back at me like that. But what do you think?
About Nurse Who?
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 I don't know. I don't watch Doctor Who.
I didn't watch any of the Jodie Whittaker stuff. I think I started to, and I was like, "You're not even. I don't even understand." It was.
I've
Yeah.
only seen some of New Who, and I've
Yeah.
only seen 3 seasons. So
I was thinking,
I'm working on that.
after I get done with one of my series here, I was thinking of doing a Doctor Who watch parties,
That'd be
or
fun.
maybe I'll add another watch party to like one of the already existing days. Because there's a lot of Doctor Who's.
I'll be back again. Actually, I need to put my daughter to bed. I'm gonna see if I
Go
can do
for
that
it.
real quick. I'll be right back.
Go for it, Jill.
You got to admit, Nurse Who was so bad that they had to get David Tennant to do the 3 episodes for the 60th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
The buzzing is not too bad. Is it?
I think you sound fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear any buzzing or no echoes or anything.
Now, is this what the setup that you have, Dalek? Hungry for easier days and more sleep says ring modulator plus distortion plus compression equals 1960s Dalek voice. And in brackets, he says, I studied it too, Dalek.
Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, ring modulator plus distortion plus compression. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it is a very distinct sound.
Yeah. The Dalek's voice is pretty unique, and it's always been done the same way. Even
Yep.
Exterminate! How was that?
Yep, sounded just like it.
Oh.
And tomorrow we're gonna don't forget everyone, we'll be reviewing TOS on Jill's channel tomorrow. I'm really excited about that.
Me too. I got to watch the episode before we go into it, but I haven't seen the Corbomite maneuver in a while.
Oh yeah, such a fantastic episode. I can't wait. And it's another one I haven't seen in years, and I'll watch it Probably tonight or tomorrow. I want to be all fresh. It'll be a whole new perspective and a whole new outlook. It'll be fun.
Yeah, me too.
I will be there as long as I'm not stuck inside a grain bin.
Oh, please try not to. I've heard those things could be dangerous.
Hey, I was in there today. I only got up to thigh high.
Okay, God. Is it hot or cold there right now, or what's
Uh,
it like?
It was 70s when we first started. Then it downpoured like hell, and then the sun came out and it got up to 90 degrees and hot and muggy.
Oh
Oh,
my.
well, send some of that water this way. We could sure use it in California.
That's the whole point of the whole 48-hour stream is because soon I'll disappear and won't be around for a while, and they'll just get random videos of me out in the tractor at that point because I'll be stuck in fields for a month and a half.
Well, we do like your tractor videos.
Yeah, I just get tired of people telling me I need a pink one.
Well, tell them if they purchase it and tell them, but yeah, sure, buy me a brand new one if you pay for it. It can be any color you want.
Yeah, that'd be pretty expensive.
Well, that'll keep them quiet too, right? Maybe.
That's how I got them to stop asking me to wear a Leia slate bikini. I put a price too high on it.
Hey, what's the price? What's the price?
$1,000.
Oh yeah, Gorilla's gonna match that price, huh?
It has to be $1,000, and they have to pay for the costume, and it'd have to be specially made to fit my fat ass.
All right, I'm texting my
Custom.
boss. Here, I'll text my boss real quick.
Okay.
They've had me in enough crazy outfits over the last couple of years. I learned. I put a high price.
I give you credit for that. I used to have to, when I was a teacher, I used to sometimes volunteer to be the guy in the suit. Oh my goodness, those things get hot. You feel like you're gonna die.
No hungry,
Hey,
no OnlyFans Deej style. This is all done on YouTube. So
Oh, come on. You'd make a lot more money on OnlyFans doing that.
No. I'm not going to OnlyFans. Hell with that.
I don't even know anybody on OnlyFans, or at least they haven't told me about it yet.
I've heard of it. Can somebody explain to me what it is? What's the difference between that and like YouTube or Twitter or Twitch or TikTok or whatever they are?
Titties. Oh, shit. I got to get our shot.
OnlyFans is basically a website where you go to do things that people pay you to do that you normally couldn't do on any of these other websites.
Also, it's like those pay porno sites are always around where you can send money, I guess, and then they'll do whatever you say, I guess, or something.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll make special content for you for like $12.99 a month.
And
Oh, they will?
Yeah, and sometimes for $1,000, they'll dress up in the Slave Leia bikini, and but you have to provide the bikini. That's the only downside.
Oh,
That's right. I'm not wasting any money to get one made. No.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. I was going to say after this stream, Hungry Boy is mentioning it, and I was going to mention it. He'll need to. He's going to head over to Clobby's channel because Clobby started streaming around 9 o'clock.
Oh, sorry.
And yeah, so many streams. Enjoy your live stream with Clobby today. He does his Monday comics.
Very cool. Shout out to Clobby.
Show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jill, I know you usually like to go over to his channel. We can wrap this up.
Well, I definitely want to encourage anybody who wants to go to Clobby's channel to go there.
Yeah, and I'm not discouraging it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, Joe, what are we covering tomorrow on your channel?
Corbin might maneuver, which after this stream, actually, I will be working on that.
Is that the one with the baby?
Well,
Yeah.
Laylock.
What? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
Tanya. Uh-huh.
The
And
baby. I was like,
who
he's
is
not
the
a
baby? Who is the baby?
He's not a
Clint
baby.
Howard.
Clint Howard. Clint Howard.
Ron Howard's brother.
Right. Yeah, the one job he got without Ron Howard, huh? So
Well,
just
that's
kidding. He did play General Ben.
He's been in a few Star Trek series too.
Oh yeah, like he original series. Was he on Next Generation? I'm trying to remember. I know he was on Deep Space Nine. I
Cool.
think he was, he was on Discovery once too.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's the sign. Is it Star Trek? Well, was Clint Howard on it? And so,
Does that make it canon?
exactly, and that's why I have to go through the credits now and find out if he ever lent a voice
Well,
to the
he's
animated series.
unfortunately he was on Discovery.
Yes.
Thank you, Hungry. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thanks, Hungry.
And
Yes,
Jill,
yes, Hungry.
Jill, is there anything else you'd like to share about your channel?
No, just the TOS review tomorrow, 11 Central. And Friday show with Scotty R37.
Absolutely, be there, everybody. How about you, Scotty? Anything you'd like to share about your channel before we go?
No, just the Phantasmagorium. We've done all the James Bond. It's called the Phantasmagorium Show. We've done all the James Bond movies. We're going through Quentin Tarantino now. But right now, I have like my 100% of what I'm thinking about is the Corbomite maneuver tomorrow with you guys.
Oh, great! We'll be happy to see you there.
Yay!
We appreciate your input and your
Thank you.
opinions. How about you,
And
DJ? Go ahead. Sorry, Scotty.
I was just going to say thank you, and it's just fun to be able to hang out with people and talk about Star Trek and sometimes Twilight, which I wasn't expecting. But anyway,
Oh well, you never know, right? You never know what can happen. How about you, DJ? Anything you'd like to share with us other than the tractor videos and you dancing around in a bunny suit?
The 48-hour live stream that could turn into longer if people bribe me this
Oh, there you
weekend.
go.
And
there you
then,
go.
Oh,
There
that's why
is-
you didn't say it falls into Labor Day, because that could happen anyway.
yeah, it
Oh, I
could.
forgot about Labor Day. That is coming up, right? Oh, I totally. That's next weekend. Oh.
It's this weekend.
Or this weekend. This weekend. My time is way off. Thank you. So
And
next
then-
Monday will be a holiday. Okay, so got it. I had to tell myself that.
And then there is this other show that I'm a co-host of called Name That Tune that we do over on Hanstar's channel. That's just we'll get started in season 4 here in the next 3 weeks, I think.
Oh, very cool.
We did a show last night that locked in most of the contestants on what days they'll be on, but yeah, there's that.
All right. And Dalek, how about you? I know you weren't here very long, but we really appreciate you joining us. Anything you'd like to plug for your channel?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Damn it.
Well, that's one way to say it.
Damn it. Sorry. I don't know why, but when I have that thing turned on, my voice echoes back at me, and it's a bit. I can't do it properly because it's distracting.
And it really doesn't change your voice that much anyway. You're gonna need to do some experimenting.
Right.
Oh.
And to us, it just sounds the same. So
Yeah.
you're just hearing the
Yeah.
voices in your head, right?
And Dalek, you should be good at plunging. You got a plunger on you.
And Gorilla, how about you? Anything you'd like to share with us about your channel?
Just Beyond Belief on Wednesday. Then Thursday I'll be defending the Manhunt from TNG. Then I won't be doing my Babylon 5 or Sim on Sunday because it's Labor Day weekend and I'm getting out of town. So
All
Great.
right, very cool. And I
that's
wanted to,
nothing changed though.
well, just you be safe out there when you're taking that trip. You know, on the road, people can be driving crazy, especially now that I'm realizing it's Labor Day.
Mhm.
That's what insurance is for. And
Yeah, I
just
wish people
do
would
enough
drive.
and just enough ow,
Yeah.
you can get a good settlement.
How's this?
That's one positive way to look at it. As long as it's not your fault. Sorry, what were you saying, Dalek?
I was just saying. How does this sound?
Well, it sounds good to
you,
me.
you sound normal. You sound normal.
Dang.
Yeah, you sound like a Dalek.
Do I?
Well, your normal voice sounds like a Dalek already, so I don't know why.
Does it? No.
All you got to do is yell "exterminate" a few times, and it sounds just like it.
I mean, just without as much as the technological little hum that they have, but it's pretty close.
Well, thanks, Jill.
You're welcome.
But I counter you, Dalek, with a Tom Baker.
Oh my god. It is the dog. Damn it.
No, it was close. You're almost there. You just had to commit.
It is the doctor. Exterminate.
Nice.
Now, if you need somebody to work with, I can be the master for you too.
The master was wild. That's cool.
And I wanted to make sure that I said how much I appreciate everybody in the chat who stopped by. I really appreciate it. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. I would have a channel for nothing. And I know you love Star Trek, so I love your opinions. You guys, you can make me laugh. You make me think. You make me smile. So anytime you guys can join us here in the chat or on the panel, it's believe me, it's highly appreciated, and it means a lot to me.
Well,
I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to read all the chats. I know we were trying to kind of keep the show going there, but I wasn't trying to skip anybody intentionally. If I missed your chat, I apologize. Maybe one of these days I'll have super chats when I see dollar signs waving at me. I'll pay attention, but I'm just kidding. But if you enjoyed what you saw today, please join us next Monday for the next episode of Star Trek: The Animated Series. Jill, do you have a trailer for that?
Oh, right. I forgot about getting the trailer. Yeah, I can get it.
No hurry. No hurry. So wonderful. Jill, reliable as always, has a preview coming up here for what we will be viewing next week. And like I said, tomorrow we'll be working on TOS on her channel. And son of a Richard, I hope you feel good. I hope everything's going well with you and the doctor. Thank you, Bird, for joining us. Hungry. I hope I try to mention everybody that came into the stream today. If I missed any of your names, I really apologize. It's not intentional. And also, like I mentioned earlier, I have another stream coming up on who is the father of Star Trek. I'm producing that now and putting it together. Basically, it's in the editing room, and I'm hoping to have that out in the next couple of days. It won't be that long.
Oh, cool.
But if that's something you guys are interested in, then please click the sub button on my channel and the alert notifications so that you will know when these come out. And then you can join. Go ahead, Dalek.
Spoilers, it's not any of us that is the creator of Star Trek.
Right. Unfortunately, no, we didn't see any dollars. Unfortunately. In fact, this other person didn't either. If it's true.
Well, as much money as Star Trek makes, they can call me daddy.
Well, according to the book Inside Star Trek, I saw more than one mention, or everybody spots Gene Roddenberry riding around in his Rolls Royce. So the man went around in style. And I want to quick mention too what you guys were talking about really quick on Friday on Jill's stream, and you were talking about Denise Crosby on whether Star Trek damaged her career. And I was listening to that. And by the time I was driving, and I was listening later on after the stream, so I wasn't able to put any input in. But what I think about what's interesting about her is I think she's lucky the career that she got, because when you think about it, most of the people that were on the Star Trek series, most of the cast really didn't go anywhere. They were stereotyped. If you were William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, or some of the stars like Patrick Stewart, when you think about it, the majority of the cast were sidelined and stereotyped, and found them all. For all of them, it found it very difficult to find jobs. So I think, in my opinion, she should be considered herself very lucky that she was able to do things outside of Trek. I know it wasn't a lot, but she did more than a lot of the other people, cast members on Trek.
Yeah, she did eat people in The Walking Dead, folks.
You know what? I probably saw that I tuned out some point that episode, that show. It just turned into too much of a soap opera.
She was the leader of Terminus.
Right.
No, that was yes. I think I remember that. Didn't they arrive on a train, right?
No, they walked down the railroad tracks, but they got locked up in a cart.
Okay, but that is it. That's the one I saw. Okay, that's right. She was the one cooking people, I think.
Yeah, Denise Crosby was the one there. I
Well,
still think she's going to be the one of the bad guys in Picard season 3.
Oh, you never know when she may pop her. Well, I'm not going to say her ugly head, but hey, you never know,
Because
huh?
we know Sela is still alive out there somewhere.
Yes.
Well, and also, there's a fantastic movie, at least in my opinion, a fantastic movie that she was in. She was in a small role in the movie, but the movie itself is really, really good. It's from 1988, and it's called Miracle Mile, starring Anthony Edwards and Mary Winningham.
Oh wow.
And I recommend. I would say it's the best thing I've ever seen her in. I liked her character much better. She played a sort of like a kind of like a security. I don't know if she was like for the president or for somebody high up. But according to her character, she had knowledge and connections upstairs. So I don't know if she was Secret Service or what. But it's a theoretical. It's a movie that has like a countdown clock where it starts at a certain point, and it's the end of the world. There's going to be a nuclear war, and it's basically people panicking and what they would do up to the end when the bombs land.
I missed the whole thing. What movie was Denise Crosby in?
Miracle Mile, 1988.
Oh, yeah, that would have been really interesting to talk about on the stream.
Uh, I know you got to go, Jill. I'm gonna make this really fast here. Here we go. Here's the Internet Movie Database. There's a diner right here. He walks in, and there's her sitting at the back of the counter. There, you see her in blue.
Oh cool.
Can I pause this? See, there she is. So this was made not long after, because this is '88. So was TNG on the air at the time, or was after she left?
I think this would have been after.
Her hair was still short, or at least unless that's how it was for the character. But I highly recommend the movie. Excellent, excellent movie. Very, very romantic, I would say. So as far as men and women, I think both would enjoy it, and it's a thought-provoking, good science movie. And plus, it has the lady from Evil Dead 2 who played the lady down right here, Lou Hancock. She was the old lady down in the fruit cellar from Evil Dead 2.
Oh wow. Okay.
And John Agar on the left here from a lot of 50s sci-fi B movies, 50s and 60s. This is one of his last roles. And McKelty Williamson, I think he's the guy that did Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And there she is, Denise Crosby, as you can see. So I recommend this movie. I couldn't recommend it any higher.
Wow.
Miracle
Okay.
Mile.
I'll definitely take a look at the trailer and see if I can find it somewhere to stream.
Yeah. I don't think you'll regret it. I think you'll enjoy it. And please, if you do see it, anybody out there, let me know, and let me know what your opinion is. Bring it up next time we have a chat.
I have it. I have it on one of my hard drives.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah. For a while, I was really into end of the world movies, and so that fit my collection.
Oh, I've been missing some of these chats. I'm so sorry, everybody. Boy, I went way back. I was trying to read everybody's names. Thank you, Hungry. I appreciate it. And is there anything else anybody else likes to bring up before I close the stream?
Nope.
I'm good.
Just thank you again.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, and for everybody out in the chat, please make sure you sub to Antiderivative Jill, Scotty R37, Deej Odyssey, Dalek 451, and Gorilla's Hungry Thoughts. I really appreciate it. If we cross sub to everybody's channels, next thing you know, we'll all get subbed over. Oh, Jill, I finally made it over 50.
Congratulations.
Pop culture. How do you know I'm hungry?
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Gorilla. I got your name mixed up with Hungry Boy. I appreciate it. So it's Gorilla's Random Thoughts, not Gorilla's
And
Hungry
when you
Thoughts.
do subscribe to Scotty R37, remember to subscribe to the Phantasmagorian instead.
Yes, and click that alert button. Without the alert button, you'll miss a lot of these streams. But I thank you, everybody. Go ahead, Scotty.
No, thank you very much. It's funny when people say, "Oh, you should subscribe to Scotty R37," and it's like there's nothing on Scotty R37. There's one
fact check. You got one video. That's a fact check. You got one video.
Thank you for the clarification, Jill. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right, that will hopefully ease the confusion. But thank you for joining us, everybody. Like I said, appreciate it. Until next week. Unless, like I said, maybe I'll have my stream sooner, or I'll post that video up of who's the father of Star Trek, and then we'll try to plan on a good time for everybody to come and stream and debate and shout and throw rocks at me or whatever's necessary.
Oh,
But
I won't
until
throw rocks. I'll just throw fruit.
okay, as long as it's fresh fruit, I can use it. Okay, so have a wonderful night, everybody, and a wonderful week. Thank you. Take care and peace.